Next, let's queer up the worldview. America's Sunshine Cathedral is a beacon of hope for African LGBTQ faith communities. Yesterday, MCC Africa Network, or the Africa Network of Metropolitan Community Churches, posted on its Facebook page praise for the LGBTQ faith and how it is celebrated in the United States. As previously reported by Queer News Tonight, no region in the world has faced more challenges to the LGBTQ community than in Africa. Countries like Uganda, Nigeria, and Kenya have implemented draconian measures against the gay community that can even include the death penalty. MCC Africa Network stands up for LGBTQ plus social justice through faith and religion. Sharon Cox Ludwig, director of the Africa Network, drew attention for the entire African continent of how American organizations celebrate LGBTQ faith and social justice. The post specifically drew the attention to Sunshine Cathedral of Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Speaking to their Facebook community, she said, quote, "Perhaps you haven't attended a service in a while. Maybe it's a very long while because of the harm that organized religion has done to you. We invite you to immerse yourself in the service this evening of Sunshine Cathedral. We bet you would seldom, if ever, have had this text preached on. Enjoy the worship. Enjoy the musical talent. Enjoy the powerful message from our beloved friends in this community." End quote. Then the post included the Sunday service link produced by Happening Out Television Network. Ludwig is based in South Africa, a country that is a beacon of LGBTQ plus rights in Africa. Unlike most of the 54 countries in Africa, since 2006, South Africa has embraced same-sex marriage and sets a progressive example on the continent. In contrast, 33 African nations uphold criminalizing same-sex relations, remnants of colonial-era statutes with vague and archaic language. Cameroon vigorously enforces Penal Code Section 347, punishing same-sex relations with up to 5 years imprisonment. In Tunisia, LGBTQ plus activists face persecution, including arbitrary arrests and assaults. In Ghana, Uganda, Nigeria, and Tanzania, leaders have intensified rhetoric against LGBTQ plus communities and even calling for the death penalty. Under such grim circumstances, it is hard for LGBTQ Africans to stand against such oppression. It is why this attention was so emotional. It attracts the queer faith community's attention to Sunshine Cathedral, calling it a beacon of hope for LGBTQ plus people in Africa, and encouraging the African queer faith community to watch the Sunday live service broadcast. It is very inspiring to witness how a queer-friendly church in Fort Lauderdale has become a source of strength and inspiration to people in Africa. Queer people that desperately look to organizations in America like Sunshine Cathedral. Well, this is very emotional and it's also beautiful. This is gorgeous that we're sitting in Sunshine Cathedral right now. Filming this, and this is, I mean, watch this. I send out my beacon of hope to LGBTQ plus people in Africa. And also I want to draw attention to how just because we're gay, just because we have these identities, don't mean we don't have faith.
Yes.
Right.
Like, it does not mean that we are ostracized, that we don't have a spiritual center.
Yeah.
You know, as a spiritualist, you know, people are very off-put. Like, how did you come to this? How did you? And I'm like, through my queerness.
Oh my God.
It is literally the foundation or the center of how I have come to know spirituality. And it is available for all. Oh. And I love that we are sitting in this church right now. And I love all of the things. Every time I come here, there's something going on. There's, you know, feeding the homeless, and then the bringing people here who have been marginalized. You know, they do so much here, and it's just beautiful that this is reaching across the pond into places and touching lives that who are very oppressed and not able to have even the perception that queer people have this,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
the representation matters. So I'm just really happy to have read that story. It's really moving and beautiful.
You know what some people must have gone through in Africa for just being their true authentic
And still
self,
go-
right?
and
And
still
and
going
still
through-
go
going
through,
through, yeah.
excuse me, you know, you end up in jail for 5 years, and that could be the latter, right? Because you could end up dead for just
Right.
loving who you love. Kudos to all the MCCs and to Sunshine Cathedral. You know, me and Dale are part of a non-denominational church, Unity on the Bay, and you know, we attract a lot of LGBTQ plus people because just like what Jamal said, you know, for some reason, LGBTQ plus people feel that religion, we don't deserve it. Right? Because we've been marginalized for so long, because we're told since inception, you know, you're an abomination and you're going to hell. Because of that, we completely made a left face and just said, no more religion for many of us. And then when you see, at least I can only talk for me, Dale, but like I've seen queer people come to Unity on the Bay and just start bawling, just bawl their eyes out because they're finally somewhere safe. They see, they're seen, and they're accepted. We use the same Bible everybody else does.
Right. We just interpret it differently.
We just don't, yeah.
To be more like Jesus rather than being less like Jesus. The way we call Jesus the way shower. You know, so to be more like Jesus, and this is more like Jesus. Inclusivity, helping, reaching a hand out to the oppressed, not shunning the oppressed, making a difference, making a way for those people.
And this also, sorry to cut you
Oh,
off.
no, you go.
This also goes out to every oppressed queer person in the world. I want to expand this outside of even Africa. Just any place in the world that condemns who you are and whose you are, know that you can have access to joy, and because that's what religion and spirituality eventually leads us to: joy, liberation, and all of the things that we want to feel, the happiness, etc. And know that you are worthy of these things. Like that is a huge healing balm that needs to come over a lot of LGBTQ plus people, that you are worthy of things, you are worthy of joy, you are worthy of feeling valued even when you don't.
Yeah. Adam?
Alex.
Alex?
No, I was going to just add that,
Sorry,
like,
Alex. I apologize. I don't know. Now you're going to be Adam for the rest of the show. No, I'm joking. Alex, I'm sorry.
no, I was just going to add, it was nice to see a positive story when talking about Africa. Too often, U.S. media companies are still set in this very American imperialist, racist attitude towards viewing Africa as a third world, and to show that actually there's a lot of positive things and workings and places going on in Africa. It was just nice to see a positive story for once. You know, as in media, we just don't see it enough.
Yeah. Yeah. And one last thing, Robert and Darrell are just incredible reverends here at Sunshine Cathedral. You know, their focus has always been global, has always been touch that LGBTQ plus person that feels that religion is not for them and that we're not here for them, and show them that they're wrong and that we are here for you and that you are enough. So kudos to both of you. Darrell is actually over at Unity Village right now.
Oh, he is?
At a conference.
Oh, for the, that's the,
yes. And you know, they're just incredible people. Keep doing what you're doing because so many of us need you. We just do. Thank you.